Hello traders, welcome to Trade Forex with Gabe, and this is weekly Forex forecast. We will be looking at the setups for week 47, November 28th to December the 2nd. As always, we'd like to start with the currency strength outlook, and what the strength outlook is really showing us here is that we do not have an outright bullish currency against the other. Most of them are showing us bullish to neutral, bearish to neutral. And what it's showing us or telling us in essence is that market volatility is shrinking, and which makes any trader to plan their trades on the conservative side, not taking too much risk, as there are not much volatility in the market. The core activity, the core economic activity for the week will be the NFP. So any trader, every trader should plan their trades around that, as that will be the major pair or major event for the week. Our trade setups or the currencies we'll be looking at as our top Forex setups for 28th to the 2nd. The ones marked in green are the ones I'm really interested in, which is the oil. Of course, we always start with the dollar index, which gives us a direction onto the other pairs. I'm interested in oil for the week. I'm interested in EurCad. I'm interested in GbpCad. I'm interested in CadJpy. And less pairs that I'm not so much interested in, which is not giving me top priority on my trades: EurUsd, NzdCad, AudCad, Australian dollar USD, NzdUsd, and of course gold. But then let's look at the economic calendar for the week and see how we should plan our trade. We don't have much of high volatility events for the week. Monday is pretty much clear. Tuesday also will have the GDP month for Canadian dollar. Nothing much to worry about that. On Wednesday, pretty much clear, aside the ADP farm employment change and prelim GDP in the US. Then on Thursday, where we'll have CPI data coming out from Swiss franc, and of course, same Thursday, we'll have the core PCE data coming out from the US. This is, of course, Jerome Powell's best measure of inflation in the US. So this is going to be a high impact news come Thursday, starting of the month. And of course, on Friday, we would have the NFP news coming out. We will be looking at all of these setups into the week. So let's look at the charts and see how all of this play out on the chart. Starting with the dollar index, we could see that we are still in a corrective mode on the dollar, still expecting it to touch the last low on the 104.71. This week, as we expect the NFP to play out, we could see some correction, some rally. So it could go two ways. We could see price come down to take out the low we've been expecting it to take out, or we could see some rally before price gets to drop to our expected level of 104.71. So we cannot predict how the news will go, but one thing I'm really looking at is that price should take out this low before we begin to see new rallies on the dollar. So this could inform pretty much why you see the dollar pairs are not a priority in my trade for the week. Now let's look at oil. Oil pretty much sold out last week, and it was an interesting trade for the week. You could see the high volatility. We sold off. We had a rally again and then began to sell off again. Of course, this rally is informed by a breakout from the double top. We identified this double top previous weeks, that we have a double top pattern in oil, and right now what we see is a breakout from the neckline, and I'm expecting price to continue to make a sell-off to the 73.37 levels. Right now, we could see some correction, okay, depending on how dollar reacts leading up to NFP before a break from this flag pattern. So if you look closely, you will see the flag here. See the sell-off, then we have a flag. Any breakout from this channel, at least we should see price touch the 73.37 before actually achieving the profit target for breaking out from this channel. So oil, I'm interested in oil, but I would like to see some correction before I could start selling to give me a better risk to reward ratio. EurCad, another interesting pair I like for the week. Now, I'm looking at it from the daily time frame on this part. On the weekly time frame, you still see that we're beginning to break out from the last highs. You see the momentum we used to break out from here, because Canadian dollar pretty much a commodity pair. As oil is falling, we are seeing euro rally against most of these commodity currencies like Canadian dollar. So on the interim, I would like to see price rally up to 1.4014 level. And on the H4 charts, what I will expect to see, you see how we broke out from this level. And from here, we had that breakout, we had the retest, and I'm expecting price to make it up to the 1.4021. So traders, if we could get some correction, again, that could give you a better risk to reward ratio to enter in your trade towards the 1.4021 level. Next on my priority list is CadJpy. CadJpy, of course, selling off with oil. And you can see very interesting trade we have here, interesting setup. We began to see the breakout from this channel. And before the breakout, I showed you we had this double top pattern. So we see the breakout from the neckline. And if we are to trade based on, in the nearest future, of course, price should travel the distance of this double top pattern, which is ultimately the 98.80 level. But I've given you the various profit target level we should expect price to drop at every through the week before we get to this 98.0. For the week that we are in, I'm expecting price to drop to 102.55 level as oil continues to crash. This is interesting trade for me, 102.55 level. And if we're able to break through that level, we should see price drop to 101.073 level. Let's look at GbpCad. Of course, Canadian dollar is one of my favorites for the week because of what's happening in oil. And pound sterling, I believe, should rally against the CAD pair, against Canadian dollar. And here I'm targeting price to rally up into 1.6314 level, which was approximately 150 pips. So traders, I will expect you see the momentum we used to break out from this level. So any correction down here should see price should give us a better risk to reward ratio into the level 1.6314 level. So these are my top priority trades, all to the downside, EurCad to the upside, CadJpy to the downside, and GbpCad to the upside. Now, the less priority trades for me will be EurUsd, and of course, EurUsD as we continue to expect price to drop, as we continue to expect price to USD to continue to make correction. I'm expecting more rallies, and we saw how price broke out from this channel pattern from this channel. So our ultimate goal is for it to rally up to 1.0569 level. Right now, we're trading within a symmetrical triangle, so we could see price drop to the lower base of this triangle before a rally to break out from this triangle. And ultimately, I'm looking at 1.0569 level, but you know, it can go in any direction. Of course, whenever I'm trading triangles, I just get to believe anything can happen on that pair. So this is less priority for me, but traders, if most people, this is one of the highly traded pairs. So I always like to look at what is happening on EurUSD, and this will be my outlook for EurUSD. NzdCad, let's look at NzdCad. Of course, again, NZD, I believe, should rally against Canadian dollar. And right now, we see that the breakout from the channel, of course, achieved the first goal. And right now, I still believe Canadian dollar will grow weaker, and this will see more rallies into the 0.8611 level. So we had a good momentum from last week. Look at that. Let me show you. We had a very nice momentum from last week. So into this week, I will expect a retest of this level, and then we could begin to see that rally up to our next level. We may not achieve this in one sweep in the week because this is about 340 pips. So if you use pivot levels, pivot point, at least expect price to rally up to the R1, R2 level, as you can use that to set your profit target, depending when we get to this level. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, less priority trade for me. Of course, you know, Australian dollar is also a commodity pair. Canadian dollar is also a commodity pair. But in this case, I believe Australian dollar should rally above or against the Canadian dollar. So my outlook, looking at it from the daily chart, you see we're still pretty much in a downtrend. And I believe we will continue to rally up within the boundaries of this channel towards the 0.9142 level. So any correction into the week down here should give me a better risk to reward ratio to enter my trade. So I'm expecting some correction from last week. We had that momentum, and it will give me a better opportunity to put in my trades. Notice this is about 240 pips, so it's good for you to get some correction for a better risk to reward ratio. Australian dollar, United States dollar, right here, I'm expecting a break above this level, the 0.6791 level. Now let's look at it on a bigger time frame. I believe we will see a break above this 0.6791 level, and our next target will be 0.6913 level. So this is not a high priority trade for me, knowing Australian dollar is also a commodity pair, although the dollar is weak, but leading up to non-farm payroll, really anything can happen on this particular pair. So, but then it has a pretty much good setup. That's why I still brought it in as best priority trade for me, because it's trading within the boundaries of a channel, and I like trading channels really much. And NzdUsd, we're looking at a break from this channel. I don't believe we will have much of a rally, NZD rallying so much against the US for a long term. So on the intermediate, I believe we should see some more rallies before dollar begins to recover in terms of gaining back its strength, and we'll see a major sell-off on this pair. This is already trending so high. So high. So I don't believe this would is so sustainable. But then for the week, I still expect some more rallies up there. And lastly, gold. We saw how price broke the channel, rallied into our key level as we saw last week. Leading up to NFP, into NFP, we can what we can tell about the dollar, right? I said we could see price taking out the low on the dollar index before making it rally during NFP. So any of those that happen, I believe that we could still see price retest this level prior to NFP. So, but then if price decides to rally before NFP, you could see a massive sell-off on gold. So this is not going to be one of my top priority trades. I have, as I've earlier identified, oil is mine. I'll be looking to trade oil, EurCad to the upside, CadJpy to the downside, GbpCad to the upside. So these are my top priority trades. So this is it for the week. I wish you pips full week, and I wish you all the best. Don't forget, not much of volatility in the market for the week. So trade carefully, capital preservation is really key in all that we do. Don't lose your money. Thank you. See you again next week. Gabriel signing out.